This has led to further allegations of religious discrimination.
If we're doing all that gay pride flags and all that transgender stuff, like, why don't we have Christian stuff all over?
They're not the same.
How is that not the same?
1,000.
I love this. This is so classic Project Veritas, where someone's actually being reasonable or making sense.
Now, Enes Sujak works for Geek Squad, which is owned by Best Buy, and it's within the Geek Squad office where Enes witnessed LGBTQ paraphernalia, pride materials.
So the use of paraphernalia is kind of interesting because, again, it's trying to make you think like dildos, right? Because that's all they think about, those queers. It's got to be dildos, tons of dildos, paraphernalia. Now, I'm going to tell you why I'm interested in watching this. Because the James O'Keefe saga has become funnier and funnier. Recently, I was just watching that James O'Keefe, apparently after losing his company because of all the money that he was embezzling to try and create musicals of his own life, which, again, darling, wonderful. Every single way that a right-winger wants to grift the right and siphon their cash into just wonderful little teeter kid shit, I am so here for it. Keep going, Comrade O'Keefe. I can't say that with a straight face. But apparently the new people, the new woman who came on to the company as the CEO took one look at a whole bunch of shit and then was like, oh, so I'm now leaving, stepping down as CEO, and I've alerted the authorities to the multiple fucked up things that this company has or has been doing. Now, it did take 6 months, so it was 6 months of kind of, you know, being like, sorry, what? Yeah, so I know the ones you all know about, like the James O'Keefe pooping stories on the cruise where they're all shitting themselves. It had something to do with a bunch of drugs they'd taken. All that stuff is what the public knows. That stuff I know. It's pretty wild. Here's the stuff that only we know about. So, you know, whether you or do not want to take any or choose to take any action based on the things you see, that is up to you. So enjoy. And so I was just curious how James O'Keefe was going to, because this just happened a couple hours ago. This was live. He's part of America Fest 2023. We've already watched Roseanne Barr give a really fascist speech about fascism. Well, some fascism, some communism, but she's basically just trying to lump everything she doesn't like together. And immigrants, you know, the fascists, the Stalinists, and the communists, and the Hitlers, and the immigrants, and we are the greatest nation. And the whole thing is like, it just sounds like a fascist speech, but one that, like, it's definitely a 2023 style fascism. Like, most people back in the day would have just been very confused. They would have been like, wait, you're listing some of our enemies. No, we're fighting the communists. It's like, nah. But I'm curious what James O'Keefe brings to the table. QC codes.
Someone has to be like you, James, actually doing the work and inspiring others to go and build strong moral framework.
Damn, his intro is Tim Pool. Amazing.
For
Great
our
start.
country. And
My favorite thing to do is to confront the bad guys. I don't ask you to trust that I'm credible. I show you the evidence. I have to be strong enough to prevent myself from being co-opted, corrupted, influenced. We live in a world where there's this.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so good. I love that you're still doing this, even though you're now cutting to like clips from parts of your musicals that you ended up having to do at these turning point events because you couldn't book venues because assholes called into the venues to ask whether or not this was associated with anything to do with like Project Veritas. And then you ended up, yeah, but still.
Symbiotic relationship between government, pharmaceutical companies, and the paper of record, and it's not how journalism ought to be. I realize this is like a spiritual battle.
Is he gonna dance his way in? He's got to. Oh no, he wants to show you a sketch first. Teasing. Okay, he's edging the audience. Everyone thought like, oh shit, big music, James O'Keefe, here he goes. He's gonna fucking do some Michael Jackson. Because we don't have context, or in this case, sound, because it's all subtitled, this really just looks like James O'Keefe harassing people. And here's another clip of me, and then trying to talk to someone, and I was calling them a massive pedophile, and now they walk away. Yeah, in disgrace? We'll never know. Oh, okay. This is the first clip I do remember, which again, it was very frightening to watch him actually like harass Dylan Mulvaney. It looked like a woman who was legitimately terrified and trying to get help because he was like following her into like elevators and stuff like that. No idea what is going on. Watch this one. This one was great. This one was yet another one of their amazing exposés. This time, I believe, of a Pfizer employee or something. We couldn't find his actual work history or log anywhere on the publicly available information for the list of employees of the company. But once again, catfished via a date. And in the catfishing, he ends up revealing during this segment that he, in fact, was making up the information that he was saying. Now, I don't know if he was a plant or an actor because the whole thing gets really bizarre. He ends up arguing with James O'Keefe in the restaurant. And then like he like demands to leave, and they're like, you can't leave, you have to answer our questions. And again, like the whole thing could be staged. It's like, again, it's impossible to know. He's such a theater kid. He loves drama. He craves it and craves making content for all of you. So I don't know how much of it he actually pre-planned. Music choice too. Again, it's like, it's just so James O'Keefe. It's like, all right, so your intro, we're going to drop like some heavy EDM, get all the kids hyped up, you know, you come out, smoke, stuff like that. Maybe you even can do some dancing, James. Everyone loves your dancing, you know. What do you call it? The Billie Jean? Yeah, do that. The moonwalk. Oh, you invented that. Cool stuff. And now it's just kind of like, no, I want them to see the new me. Look, I know a lot of you were mad about me taking all of your money and trying to DJ at Coachella with it, okay? And I never ended up getting to do it because they're squares and they've been poisoned by the woke mind virus. That's why they wouldn't let me do it. They were afraid of what I was going to do with my heavy beats. But at the end of the day, I am doing the good thing now. I'm doing what you all want me to do. I'm harassing people everywhere, in the streets, at their houses, in elevators, in apartments, hallways, you name it, I'm harassing them.
I'm afraid. I want to become less afraid.
Well, what are you afraid of?
I have 2 little kids at home. We have a house. I have a wife.
So what's holding you back?
Fear. It's irrational.
What are we?
I can probably point towards something that could be making you a little bit more fearful than you normally would be. It's watching and listening to James O'Keefe and Project Veritas, because they're selling you a lie. It's a worldview that a lot of right-wingers have been pushing on a lot of people, in which there is all these horrifying things. You know, they're all made up. That's the good news. I mean, this is going to be the most releasing thing you could possibly imagine. They're all made up to distract you. They completely do not exist. There's no such thing as a woke mind virus by a group of insidious Jewish elites that are trying to indoctrinate every single person from academia all the way on down, and then they've infiltrated the media as well. And now this woke mind virus is spreading a whole bunch of messaging about how LGBTQ plus people are all secretly good when they're actually all secretly pedophiles and groomers, and you have to know about the secret truth. None of that's real. It's all made up. It's all lies to distract you. It's to spread false consciousness and to keep you not thinking about people who actually do control elements of your life. You know, something very simple like your workplace where you spend like 8 hours a day. Don't think about that. Don't think about any of that. Don't apply any kind of critique to that, because that would be communism or communist. Don't do this. Instead, get really, really distracted and scared. We're going to scare you all day, all night. And if you don't like the way I scare you, you can let Tim Pool scare you, or Steven Crowder, or Tucker Carlson, or Alex Jones. Doesn't matter. Pick your flavor. You can go from, you know, maybe a little bit more abrasive, a little bit more extreme, a little bit more bigoted. You can choose, but you definitely will get a similar meal from every single outlet. They're all going to. It's very unhealthy. It's bad for you. It will poison you. It'll make you sick, but you'll be scared all the time and anxious and not totally know why.
Actually afraid of.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the founder of Project Veritas
I completely forgot he still hasn't even come out yet. This is all just this intro.
and CEO of the O'Keefe Media Group, James O'Keefe.
Here we go. Oh man, See, they started out like early Porter Robinson, like that first drop was kind of like Porter Robinson. We were starting out, you know, really heavy bangers kind of style stuff, but now it moved into kind of modern day Porter Robinson, which is a lot kind of more euphoric and about a journey and heavily influenced by the soundtracks to anime and stuff like that. And that's what he's going for now. He's evolved, you know. This is James O'Keefe 2.0. Progressive now in the beats.
Hello, everyone. OMG.
I love when people practice their laughs. It's great, you know. Sir, your laugh is a little off-putting. Oh, it's all right. Don't worry. I've been working on it.
It's great to be here. And I've got a few people I want to introduce.
So his new organization is called OMG. So because he got kicked out of Project Veritas for, again, taking so much of the money in his weird, corrupt. He had a very Steven Crowder-esque working environment where he was it was really shit, apparently, especially for women. There was a lot of sexual harassment. There was a lot of giving the employees drugs. Allegedly, this is all alleged by, former employees and lawsuits that they're now facing and stuff like that. And apparently whatever is there is so bad that the newest CEO just straight up left. It's like, I don't want to be the CEO anymore. And I'm alerting the police to the activities that took place here. That's bad. That's really, really bad. I'm so curious as what's gonna come from that. But anyways, he started a new organization, as you can see here. It's called Damaged, OMG, and that's why he was like, OMG, y'all.
Introduce you to, but I want to say a few words first. Talk a little about fear, overcoming fear, blowing the whistle. What are we actually afraid of? What is holding us back? We're afraid of
magnets. How do they work?
Losing our homes, our mortgages, retaliation by the government, defamation from the media.
You see right there that this is populism 101. You start out with real problems that people actually have legitimate concerns about. Not just that, what about affording a fucking home? The ability to buy one. It's becoming increasingly fucking impossible for everybody. And that's the whole thing where they're like, well, if you actually want to accrue wealth, this is probably the easiest way to do it. And then you can pass it generationally to your children. They can live better lives than you did. Live the American dream. Take that and then add all the culture war nonsense shortly right afterwards, just so in case people are like, yeah, what is preventing us from affording homes? Is this a multifaceted issue that should perhaps have a greater look? Should we actually look at the financial systems themselves? What are these structures under capitalism and how do they work? Yeah, so the trans agenda. Oh, the trans agenda. That's right, trans ideology, gender identity. They're coming for your kids. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
These are terrifying things. But courage is the virtue that sustains all other virtues. Courage is the thing that makes all things possible.
So unlike Roseanne, he prepared. Roseanne got out there. I thought she was doing a bit at first because it was so embarrassing. But she's like, I don't even have my documents. And then all of a sudden afterwards, she's like, her son had to bring a phone out with her speech because she was just going off the cuff. And as soon as she's like, it's okay. I'll just start doing my own speech. Fight, 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 fight. Fight! And her son's like, Mom, I got your speech. Got your speech. You can stop saying fight over and over. There you go.
So I felt, what better way to kind of send a message than to bring the people up on stage who've actually done it. And you can hear from them for yourselves.
Well, that's an easy way to save cash.
How they were able to overcome the fear
on a pre-planned
and do
speech.
the thing. And it's not going to be
and
the
do
government,
the thing.
I believe, not even the politicians. I think the paragon of investigative journalism is now on the shoulders of the citizens. A celebrity is a big name. A hero is a big man whose deeds speak loudly. So first, we're going to bring up some students from the University of Pittsburgh.
Oh my God, so boring. Oh, that was the whole thing. It was just a fucking clip show. And then the next speaker starts. Oh no, you brought actual speakers on stage. Never mind.
Truth.
Pfizer.
So I encourage every single person in this room, if you have kids, Encourage them to stand up for what's right. Don't teach them that money is more important than the truth, because it's not. Fight for what's right. If you are in tech, if you are in big pharma, or if you're at any of these corporations that are lying to people and deceiving them and censoring them, it is your duty to do what's right and to stand up.
Oh no. Am I being 1984? Are you silencing my speech by having a buffer problem? Is that what free speech is? Oh god, I gotta get through all these people. So many assholes. It's just an asshole fest.
Going on nowadays with America and everywhere else, it saddens me. I love this country so much. God made this country for all of us to be free. Nobody can take that away from you. What you have, your...
But you're all trying to do that. The Republicans are like, you can't be gay. You can't be trans. You're not allowed. We won't allow it. We don't even like you if you're Muslim. We won't allow that. Yeah, that's freedom.
Faith, nobody can take that from you. LGBTQ, this whole agenda, nobody can take that away from you.
What agenda? People are like, leave us the fuck alone. I was like, oh god, we have to stop the agenda.
Oh,
they want to be left alone.
I'm just so furious on what's going on nowadays. Everyone is just trying to come after our religion, our faith, our God. No, we got to stand up for this.
Your God's gonna be fine. Like, I gotta be honest with you. If you have an omnipotent old man in the sky who controls all things, created everything, including space and time itself, well, pretty sure he's not going to be a little bit troubled if there's some kind of, like, you know, edgy fucking college student who's like, yeah, I don't believe in God. I've been reading Nietzsche. Like, oh God, oh no, the Lord.
For the next generation of kids, we got to stand up. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it almost seems blasphemous to pretend that God is that fucking, like, cucked or weak.
Yes. It just, I would have never imagined debating on what a woman is. Like, come on, y'all. It is.
But the right has been doing this for a very long time. You've been debating for a long time as to whether or not they should be human or have rights or be allowed to vote or even hold a fucking credit card. Yeah. Like, a lot of women's liberation came through a lot of suffrage and protesting and fighting to being like, so we're people too. We should have equal rights, and say, nah, if you dames get to vote, see, then all of your moon's blood will sync up, but then bears will arrive. That's why you can't be in politics, see, because then a whole bunch of bears will show up at the White House, yeah? No, you have to be kept into the kitchen, see? Yes, cook and clean for us until the end of time, and raise them kids. We don't have to deal with it.
Incredible. I used to work for Best Buy Geek Squad installing appliances. You know, I loved what I did. In terms of the whole COVID, you know, people need appliances. They were so humbling. Our
they sure don't view black and brown women as women, much less people. Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of the, you know, advancements in a lot of forms of, you know, feminist movements and stuff like that have been decidedly beneficial to white women, while there's still, like, it should not only revile, but, like, absolutely shock people to the core when you start hearing the statistics about, like, how the healthcare system disproportionately really harms people who happen to be black, indigenous, once they enter it. And it's even worse if they happen to be black women or indigenous women, and they're trying to find proper healthcare or access to healthcare or access to doctors who are even going to take them seriously, rather than be like, oh, I'm sure you could just be melancholy. You have there's a lot of melancholy going around.
New appliances and everything, and what they do, they push this whole agenda on us. What does learning about LGBT?
What the fuck are you? You're talking about appliances right now. I used to work at Best Buy and I had to sell blenders, and that's why the queers are coming for children. Like, what the fuck?
LGBTQ, the trans community have to do with installing appliances.
I agree. Absolutely fucking not. What are you saying right now? Is this too far for James O'Keefe? Is he like, okay, no, they're buying it. They're buying it. This is great. This is good. They're buying it. They're all buying it.
No, I just couldn't do it. Like I said, I'm European. We got a big.
Even everyone's face. I'm sorry. Was this one too far for the right? You're like, What did you mean by the Best Buy? And then they want us to, are you trying to say like a toaster's not a blender? Like you're kind of trying to do the one joke. Just say it's the one joke, okay? Just say my pronouns are not toaster blender, or say your pronouns are toaster blender. That'll kill. There you go. My pronouns are I'm a toaster.
Mouth. So when it came to that, I dipped out, and my manager was trying to tell me I was in the wrong for having my faith. Excuse me, sir, that's not how we do things around here. No, this is America. This is not.
I just like I really want to know what the backstory is behind. Did you get fired from Best Buy because you wouldn't sell someone like a toaster? Where you're like, toasters aren't blenders, and then they were like, yeah, I know, but that's why I want a toaster specifically. Because are you trying to say a toaster is a blender? Are you trying to change the gender of the appliance? It's like, no, I literally need to toast bread, and so I'm here to buy a toaster, man. I don't get it. What's the big deal? Hey, John, we gotta talk to you. Yeah, you can't keep doing that. You're just scaring lots of people, you know? Your eyes, they kind of get really small, and then all of a sudden they kind of get bloodshot, and that vein pops out right here, and you start drooling a bit. Like, don't do that. It's just scaring a lot of people. Oh, you just is against my religion. A toaster is not a blender.
Thank you.
This guy gets it right here. Yeah.
Thank you. It literally starts with just one person. One person multiplies to two. Two goes to four. We all have to come together to save this country. Like, I do not want to wish what we're doing right now, what's happening with America, I do not wish that upon the next generation. We have to stand up for this country. And it starts right now.
That's right. Stop firing Best Buy employees. Just if they don't know the difference between a microwave and a blender.
So please, guys, don't give up this fight. I will not give up this fight. I came here in this country to pursue freedom. And what's happening right now is it's not a free country. I thank Elon Musk for creating the platform for buying Twitter/X.
What? Sorry, did he create it or did he buy it? Well, how about both? That's what he usually does, right? Yes, I'm an inventor. I've invented a lot of incredible companies that do incredible things by buying previous companies and then getting lots of investor capital to pour into them and then having them do any of the wild things I want. Did you know Tesla cars have a fart function where like you can click on a button and then it makes it sound as if individual seats are farting? Did you know that? And that is just the most like, that's what I think Elon Musk has contributed towards the development of the electric car. You can definitely make an argument that the prevalence of Teslas and them suddenly becoming a very hot desired item for a period of time, that actually started a lot of other companies seeing competition and then having to develop their own electric car lines, and that could have furthered the development of a lot of electric vehicles, stuff like that. That's like at its best. But the man, god damn it, did not invent the electric car, didn't even invent the Tesla, didn't invent any of that shit. He literally sits in a boardroom and then they're like, okay, so we probably should implement, sir, some kind of, 360-degree system that allows us to determine depth and distances, because that way we would have a better ability to do this kind of like self-piloting AI that we're working and striving really hard to do. He's like, no, save money, just put lots of cameras around it, does the same thing. No, it doesn't actually, sir, because that'll still be a 2D image. Even if there is a whole bunch of cameras around the car, those are still 2D pictures that we'll have to determine. It's really hard to know depth. I mean, yes, there's some degree to which things become smaller and larger, but that's very complicated once you add all the different angles. So we should, you know what? Farts. Make the thing fart. I wanna pretend like people sitting in my car are farting. So back seat farts too. Like every seat should individual farts for each seat. So like it doesn't just sound like it's coming from me. So it's not like I'm farting. It sounds like someone farted in the back. Do that thing. Oh, and Rainbow Road. There's a Rainbow Road setting apparently. If you do like a couple of things, the self driving car will show you like rainbows on the map. He probably did that too. He's like, Mario Kart. What? Mario Kart. Do Mario Kart. What do you mean do Mario Kart? Do Mario Kart. Make it like Mario Kart. Just put a rainbow. Just put a rainbow on the map or something. That'll make him happy. Just do what he says. Sure, yeah, we'll Mario Kart it. It's Mario Kart 64. Yeah, it is.
For allowing us to have a voice. We all have a voice. Every one of us has a voice right now. Don't lose it. The government will try to take that away. The devil will try to take that away. Don't let that happen.
One and the
Please.
same.
God is real. God is good. Please stand up for this country. Thank you.
So I guess James O'Keefe, wow, he really phoned it in, because the guy's probably making like $50,000, $70,000, $5,000 from these kind of appearances, but just basically got other
becomes
people to speak
four,
to
as
him.
Ennis said. Ennis recorded his supervisor at Best Buy lost his job. Very humble man. And you're going to see this citizen army expanding into every school board, every state.
Oh, is this the OMG team? Okay, so we can actually see it. Let's see what the whole thing was. Okay. OMG Best Buy exposed. Racial and religious discrimination.
I'm James O'Keefe with...
Oh, yeah. Man, I got clickbaited. Now I have to see this riveting content. Look at that. Best Buy reviews racial and religious discrimination.
I'm James O'Keefe with OMG standing outside Best Buy this week on August 8th. O'Keefe Media Group
Let us harass some minimum wage employees. Let's do it.
OMG released a story featuring a whistleblower from inside Best Buy that released screenshots.
Wait, sorry. What is going on with your face? Amazing. All right, sorry, continue.
Whistleblower from inside Best Buy that released screenshots of a training program, a management training program with McKinsey & Company, where it explicitly excludes white applicants. The program's racial requirements have led to accusations of racial discrimination. A firestorm online. The CEO of Best Buy, Corey Berry, has now made her Twitter account private. Now, a second whistleblower has come forward exclusively to OMG.
Sorry, they said that this specifically rejects white applicants. I just want to see that wording. Hold on. Which program are you interested in? Do you want a leadership essential for individual contributors? Management accelerator for people managers? Please select the following requirements that meets it. Best Buy employee with exempt status, a 1-year tenure, or you identify as Black, Latino, Hispanic, Asian, or Pacific Islander. Where's the you can't apply if you're white to the company as part of a hiring program? These sound like programs, initiatives, and that's not unusual for them to appeal to marginalized communities, to be like, we want to also help. You know, we don't simply exploit marginalized communities. We actually have leadership and mentorship programs for them. Yeah, but that's okay. All right. Well, maybe there's more to it.
A firestorm online. The CEO of Best Buy, Corey Berry, has now made her Twitter account private. Now, a second...
By the way, they take these as wins. It's kind of like they've transferred the whole, like, you know, they go onto Rotten Tomatoes and just, like, flood the comments. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, did you see the user score versus the Rotten Tomatoes score? Yeah, we fucking, we owned them. So, yeah, we win. They're doing that now with, like, people's CEOs' accounts on Twitter where they get harassed. Like, so you hate white people. I hear you prevent white people from working at Best Buy. And like, oh, my God, who are these Nazis?
Whistleblower has come forward exclusively to OMG with audio recordings of his manager Mike Hirsch at a Best Buy in Jacksonville, Florida, stating that LGBTQ flags were appropriate in the Geek Squad office, but Christian crosses were not. This has led to further allegations of religious discrimination.
If we're doing all that gay pride flags and all that transgender stuff, like, why don't we have Christian stuff all over?
They're not the same.
How is that not the same?
1,000.
I love this. This is so classic Project Veritas, where someone's actually being reasonable or making sense, and then they try to make them look like what is this AI nonsense nightmare shit in the background, where it's like, it's like he's actually just very calmly trying to explain to one of his, again, it's not his employee, he's not the owner of the store, he's the manager, right? But it's like, hey, well, just so you know, you can choose your religion, but you can't choose if you're born trans or cis or straight or gay. You understand that one is representing a marginalized community, and that this is, you know, us trying to, let's be honest here, rainbow wash. I'm not here to defend Best Buy. I'm here to just call out the shitty call outs of Best Buy, because this shit is just nonsense.
Percent choose religion.
So,
it's not a belief,
listen,
though. That's almost that's a cultural.
Yeah, but me as a cultural entity having beliefs that I have, so why can't I put my stuff all over the wall?
You are choosing to believe in Christianity or Muslim or whatever. You choose that.
Someone is choosing to be gay.
So this is OMG's like fucking cutting edge reporting. going to a Best Buy manager, having one of the employees be like, I should be able to put the Christian cross everywhere, having them very, I would say, rationally explain it. That's very different than the LGBTQ plus flag. You can choose whether or not you're a Christian or a Muslim or Jewish. That's the choice, not ethnically, but you can choose whether or not you follow the religion. That's up to you. So you understand why this is different than, you know, people putting up the LGBTQ plus flag, than you wanted to put up the Christian cross.
Or lesbian, hey, they're choosing that.
Enis Sujak, a Serbian immigrant and Best Buy employee in Jacksonville, Florida, recorded the conversation with his manager, Mike Hirsch. I spoke with Enis about his situation. He's decided to go public. Very brave, very courageous individual.
But everything that the dude said made sense. I'm sorry, but you forgot the whistle. It just blows. Like, what is going on here? You've exposed nothing. It's like, I wanted to put up the Christian cross. It's like, you can't do that, though. Yeah, that's not going to be against company policy. Then why are the queers allowed to exist? Well, this stunning expose has shown that this employee was willing to be a whistleblower.
Here's some of that interaction.
That is our manager. His name is Mike Hirsch. He and I had a very long conversation. It was like an hour and 30 minutes of he and I just going back and forth with him, telling me that it was work appropriate to have all this LGBTQ stuff that's going on in the office and everywhere else.
My God.
But it's not okay.
Oh my God! Love is love.
Myself and have
what?
A Bible.
Love is love.
Right over there. That's right there at the office, or have a cross or a Quran or anything like that. That's not work appropriate. But you know, having that LGBTQ pride flag everywhere else, that is work appropriate.
Ooh, now we're getting some beats. Nice. Yeah.
And I wasn't standing.
Design is my passion.
You saw on the walls, the LGBTQ materials in the.
This is so sad. Come on, like, jokes aside, like, this is what he's been reduced to. This is it. It's kind of like, okay, so I'm doing it what you all want. I know this is the content that gets me money in the past. So hey, I'm a whistleblower again. OMG, you know, we got the Project Veritas 2, baby, and we're really sticking it to this local Best Buy manager and one of the employees saying he wants to be a bigot. And he's like, I want to be a bigot, though. And the manager's like, sorry, you can't be a bigot. And then he's like, well, we got to expose him. He won't let me be a bigot.
The morning meetings, he objected to it and walked out.
It's not sad, it's poetic justice.
Required his attendance at these mornings.
Cozy Sunset, thank you for subscribing. Also, can I thank Basil and Duckco _ and also Sake Tanuki. Thank you for the 10 meetings.
Her name is Athena. She's also the well-being person at Best Buy as well. And she took offense to how I handled the whole situation of just kind of walking out as she was trying to teach us about the LGBTQ history. So she ended up putting more pride flags because of me walking out.
And you walked out of there. How did that go? Athena was teaching about the history and you just walked out. Did you say anything?
No, not at all. I didn't say anything. I kept it.
So we have a poster that said love is love, and that's deeply offensive. We have someone wanting to teach history. I guess that's deeply offensive. Strike number 2. What more will they reveal?
Very respectful. That's how I do things in life. I keep it very nice and professional. Me and my partner, we ended up walking out. We went to our truck and we took care of our clients. Apparently she took offense to me not just sitting there and listening to all that garbage.
Now, Enis Sujak works for Geek Squad, which is owned by Best Buy, and it's within the Geek Squad office where Enis witnessed LGBTQ paraphernalia, pride materials.
So the use of paraphernalia is kind of interesting because, again, it's trying to make you think like dildos, right? Because that's all they think about, those queers. It's got to be dildos, tons of dildos, paraphernalia.
Mike Hirsch, head of warehouse
sex.
manager of Geek Squad, had a conversation with Enis Sujak, and, well, Sujak decided to take out his phone and record the conversation.
Why would anybody choose to be belittled, tortured, made
in
fun
America?
Of?
In America, where you have so much freedoms and rights around here. They get special privileges. They get a whole month.
They're not asking for special privileges. They're saying, please stop being fucking assholes to us. Can we have the same rights as everyone else? That's it. And so that's like that's an argument that should be brought up when people are like, they chose this life. It's like, why would someone choose to be treated like shit by a whole bunch of straight cis people all the time? That sounds really shitty. You're doing it right now. Like, you're doing the thing in the middle of the conversation right now that I'm trying to talk about. Well, they get special privilege then, because I can't be shitty to them.
To themselves, bro.
There are people like you, and even worse than you, that are so anti that.
I'm not anti. I just don't care about how you live your life. Don't preach that shit to me. That's all I am.
Mike Hirsch, we cannot get in touch with him. He has some type of Google.
I love my special privileges, being scared to speak to my family.
Did you go over the Gigakad both guy? I don't even consider getting my laptop serviced unless I get serviced too. Hashtag best guy.
Reverse card, thank you for the $10. I don't know which one you're talking about. If you're talking about the quartering, because the quartering, I don't know if it was Best Buy he worked for, but he did work for a company that does computer repairs, and he was the one who did a PSA about how you have to delete child porn before you bring it in for your computer repairs, or they could catch you and have to call the police.
System that prevents us from getting his comment, but we've reached out multiple times for Mike Hirsch. We'll also be reaching out to the CEO and the other managers within Best Buy. I'm James.
Yeah, this is such a fucking sad-ass loser segment. Like, honestly, you're standing outside of just like a single Best Buy, acting as if it's like an entire Best Buy, scandal, when it's like one little incident that happened between a manager and an employee that was completely reasonable, where the employee was like, why can't I put up the Christian cross? I'm offended by the rainbow flag and all this kind of stuff. And then they were like, well, just because you cannot choose to be gay, or they're very different in that regard, you can choose to be a Christian. That's basically where I could state that there's a difference here, and like, it's not taking anything away from you. I don't understand why are you hurt or offended by a rainbow or a sign that says love is love? I mean, I assume you like love or not think it's a bad thing, something like that. They have 197,000 subscribers, not quite the reach that they used to. Now it's just called the O'Keefe. Oh, that's what OMG stands for, O'Keefe Media Group. OMG. Oh, we got it. It's great. Yeah, that sucks for James O'Keefe, man. I mean, I think there's some truth to, like, there's only so far you can keep scamming a lot of people on the right before they start saying like, no, we're done with this.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Can you please hit the like and subscribe button and maybe leave a comment? It really does help the videos out. But first, the people who produce everything you see before you and make this entire channel possible: Amazing Fletch, Anna Loves Riley, Ariane McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Salim, Multimondi, Omni, Peanut Butter Blondie, Political Puppy, Quiet 185, Rachel K, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Ruby K, Cernicus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian DeMel, Trevbot.exe, Words Greenwood, and Travis McClinton. And also, thank you to every other person who helps fund this show. Their names are on the screen right now. It would not be possible without every single one of them. We cannot thank you enough. And if you want to join the Patreon, please come to patreon.com/theserfs and help us exist.